Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an advanced version of the AEW Wrestling Sidecast here. I am Mike the Ref on a August 6, 2022. Hey, Eric, good to see you out in the chat, by the way, first off. Second of all, if you're in Canada and you're wanting to check out AEW Battle of the Belts, it is on the TSN bonus feeds, sort of like the way you have to watch Rampage. So you got to go to tsn.ca and click on the live tab and log in via your, whether it's your TV connection or whatever, to the TSN package. And then at the top of the hour, they will magically show up a feed for our AEW Battle of the Belts tonight. Just waiting for it to come up myself here. So I personally have the football game on. Eric, I don't know everything about your TV there, but if it goes in, it goes through your TV connector or your TV, just says log in by your TV provider. If you use any of your online apps through your TV, like there's a bunch of extra packages, people purchase Netflix or whatnot through your TV provider, all you need is that password. I'm doing good. It's been a busy day, of course. You know, I work the weekends, so. But I'm glad we get to watch some wrestling here on a Saturday night. 3 big matches on this card. We're not going to be doing predictions because this was pre-taped. We got Thunder Rosa taking on Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Championship, which I think should be an absolute banger. And if they're gonna switch a title on Battle of the Belts, this might be the one to do it. But we'll see what happens here. We have Wardlow defending the AEW TNT Championship against Jay Lethal, which, frankly, this might be, outside of winning the title, this might be the biggest test for Wardlow with his new persona, his new gimmick, his new away from MJF style here now. So, and I do say that with all due respect to those 20 people that got murdered by Wardlow last week. And then for the ROH Championship, Claudio Castagnoli's defending against Kinosuke Takashita. And I do apologize. I am horrible with some names sometimes, especially Japanese. I need to get better. That's one of the things I need to learn, is to get better about that. All in all, this is an hour TV on a Saturday night just to get people who normally don't watch Dynamite or Rampage during the week, maybe get up some eyes on the product on a weekend when you got not much to do. A very good opportunity for AEW here to highlight some pretty good stuff here, if you ask me. That was weird. Sorry. When you live in an apartment building, sometimes you get some weird sounds going on and whatnot. So, other than that, yesterday we had the appearance of Karrion Kross on SmackDown, which I think blew away a lot of fans. Like, we had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of people that were added on. I just didn't think it would be that quick, to be perfectly honest. I didn't think, like, Karrion Kross would be one of those people Triple H would target, I would think, because it's all about doing projects right and simple fixes. And Killer Kross, Karrion Kross, whatever you want to call him, it was an easy fix. Just give him back what he was doing at NXT. And it seems like Triple H just hit the reset button on him and said, yeah, we're doing what we planned to do before. And last night, 5 minutes in, you could tell there was a decent change there. So good on Kross, good on Triple H, and once again, another positive step in the direction for WWE. AEW is still going strong. The best part about all this right now is the fact that standards are being raised. And that's one of the biggest problems we have right now, is the fact that standards are low. Very low. Especially for the WWE product. But with every successful week here going on, the bar gets raised higher and higher. And I hope that expectations are met to go higher and higher as well. So, other than that, the indie scenes go well. And we are just about 3 minutes away, so I'm just waiting to see if the feed's going to come up here. Forgive me if I keep looking to the side here occasionally. I'm trying to see if it'll actually come up yet or not. Oh, there it is. Battle of the Belts 3. Yay, now I don't have to worry about it. Sit back, relax, wait for the show to come up. Always good thing. Following this tonight, we're going to be doing some turbo golf racing. Basically, think Fortnite, or not Fortnite. Wow. Think Rocket League, but with golf. It's a game preview on the Xbox Game Pass. So we're going to fire that up, but probably is only going to take an hour to go through it and whatnot. So it's going to be a fun time to check things out, and I hope that everybody gets a chance to enjoy it here. Let me throw some tunes on in the background here a little bit. But yeah, the local indie wrestling scene's always doing good here around town. We got RCW's running tonight. We got Top Talent Pro Wrestling running in a couple weeks. Just announced a couple of matches here. I'll once we get into the later half of the month, I'll describe them a little bit more. Hopefully we get the opportunity to see that stuff online that's come up other than just highlight packages, because you want to find some way to get the product out there for a larger crowd to see. Because my God, the last time I was at a Top Talent Wrestling show, like their first one last month and a half ago, it wasn't just a card. It was a spectacle. It was something to partake. It was something to really enjoy. The atmosphere, the building, the opportunities, it all looked great. And I was really looking forward to the next show here. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do for follow-up matches, because anybody can get over on the first show. It's when you get on shows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's when you got to start looking at it and saying, oh, what do we got here? And what are we going to be doing? And we're just about a minute away here. Before we get started with Battle of the Belts, it's all going to come right out of the blue. I know it already. But, yeah, Love Pro Wrestling's going strong as well. They just announced Veda Scott's going to be coming in to challenge TFA for the the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship. And the Infinity Championship from WrestleCore is going to be defended by Adam Wright against Michael and Richard Clark. And then State of Emergency out of BC is going to be taking on the Clandestine Society, Michael Richard Blaze and Stephen Crow. So it's going to be an interesting card. I'll be honest, some of the storytelling from show to show for me is a little bit concerning, I think is the best way to put it. Wondrous. But, yeah. The only reason I jest is the fact that you had a team, the team of the Clandestine Society lost their match last show, and the team that lost has basically gone right back down to the undercard. I'm like, well, if they beat your top team in the promotion, shouldn't you be up near the main event? All right, here we go. It's live. Pyro's going off. Hey, Hey, Darth Mick, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Oh, they're starting fire right away here with Wardlow taking on Jay Lethal here. Wow, okay. That's a loaded statement there, Darth Mick, your church. They had vacation Bible school this week. Ouch. I remember getting sent to go to Bible school once when I was a kid. It was supposed to be 4 weeks. Oh my goodness. Patient zero with oh God. So basically that Bible school vacation became a very isolated and wow. Okay, that's rough. 88 people get COVID from one person. It's straight, like, people don't understand. COVID isn't over. It's just, we know how to manage it a little bit better now. Well, you're going to have to make sure everybody's tested, right? To see what's going on. Wardlow does look great with that championship around his waist. You got to admit that. We don't know how many had it yet, but all were exposed to, yeah. Like, there's going to be tests left, right, and center going on. I am happy to say that there are a lot of COVID tests that are available now. So guess who isn't going to church for the next 2 weeks? You sound like Homer Simpson, who wants to sit around watch football instead. In this case, it looks like it's probably going to be baseball at this point. Our town of 35,000 had 4 cases on average the last 2 weeks. That's rough. To go from that little bit to exploding that high. So this has been a hell of a week here for Jay Lethal. Getting back to the match here a little bit. He's had 3 TV or pay-per-view matches here in the stretch of 7 days. He managed to pull Ric Flair through a huge match, which apparently isn't his last match because he's down in Mexico right now. Then he takes out Orange Cassidy here on Wednesday, and now he's taking out Wardlow right now, who is an absolute monster. Jesus. I gotta say I'm pretty lucky. Either I haven't had COVID or else I haven't shown any symptoms of it, because there was a time up here where you couldn't get enough tests to last. Hey, Jared, how was your day after your birthday? And once again, I just want to throw a shout out here. Happy birthday day after to you, Mr. Jared. And yeah, Lethal here, he's playing this smart. We're probably going to get a good 20 minutes out of this match up here, so. Thunder Rosa and Hayter, and also they're going to go Claudio and Kenosi Takeshita. Okay. They're going to go with them as the main event. So I could say this one's probably going to go about 15, 20. The women's is going to go about, I'd say 10 to 15, and then the men's will go 20. Uh-oh. Lethal now with a bad knee. Why did the referee pull him that way? Wrestling question for me. Well, that's what we're here for. If you guys have any questions during the show, feel free to, if it's related or not. Sometimes the ones that aren't, I have to wait to get to, but I'll definitely answer any wrestling related questions you have here. Hell, I'll answer pretty much any questions you have here right now. But Lethal is just such an amazing workhorse. I got a chance to check him out front row. Locally, when he was here with PWA, it was Lance Storm versus Jay Lethal. Picture that match, folks. I do have it on DVD. I got to see if I can find some way. Maybe I can get a watch along for you where you guys can actually watch the match with us while we're chatting about it. From where the corner turnbuckles are to where the ring post is on the outside is the gap between the large... It all depends on the bracing of the rig. I haven't actually, from a technical aspect, I haven't actually looked to do the measurements. Typically, those parts are pretty universal. And it also depends on what size of ring you have as well. If, for example, I think AEW and WWE run a 20 by 20 just because of the size of their venues. And if that's the case, to have a 20 by 20 ring, you need to have enough tensile strength to keep those ropes taut. So the posts will be a little further back and the cranks will be a little bit bigger. It also can be the way that the cameras shoot it, right? When you get all these jump cuts and the way it's decorated as well. Because, like, it's not just a joke when they say it, but black is a very slimming color, so it makes things look smaller and longer. So it is a possibility that because WWE tries to use a little bit more red in their posts and their ropes, and it just makes it look that much bigger. But yeah, it's literally based on, how big the ring is for the most part. Most indie rings that you look at these days are 16 by 16. So if they're, nice reversal there by Lethal. Almost got to see the Powerbomb Symphony. Oh no, absolutely, Darth Mick. I love talking about stuff like this when, like, a lot of people don't realize what the composition of a rig is. Keeps trying to... if it wasn't wrestling, somebody sitting here telling you trying to shove your head between your legs is, that would consider to be somewhat of a felony in some states. Whoa, that's a different kind of lariat. The wind-up lariat like that. But yeah, sometimes you get the wider rings where they're, like for an indie ring that's 16 by 16, it's very tight. You'll get a little bit of space in there for the clamps to keep the ropes up. So how many power bombs does Jay Lethal take here? 16? There's one. No, just one. Okay. It's a gorgeous layer. This is the first time I've ever been ahead of you on a show. Well, here's the difference. The shows that I do are actually on TV normally. This one here is on a, it's like the digital add-on to our ESPN equivalent here in Canada. So when you're watching the digital channel, it is about 5 seconds later normally, or at least. You gotta love when Sanjay's just sitting there trash talking the whole time while it's going on. Sketchy Cardi. That's a term we haven't seen that often. So they're going to try and injure him so he can't defend the championship. Well, that's one way to fix that. Yeah, bag Yahtzee. It's been a while since I heard that. No way. There is no way he takes this. Satnam is way too big for that. So now they're looking at a table? All right. Well, at least they found a feud for Wardlow to hang on to for a little while. That was rather effortless, which it should be for a big guy like Satnam, but... This could be interesting to see who they bring in to help out Wardlow in this feud. So Satnam, if you guys didn't know, they found him on a Canadian basketball court, of all places. The National Basketball League of Canada. Not to be confused with the CEBL that's having their playoffs right now. So the quarterfinals are going on tomorrow. I know my local Edmonton Stingers got eliminated by 3 points, and an incompetent scorers table caused the loss. So, all right, we hit a commercial break. Because ads are going to show up automatically in 2 minutes, I'm going to run some right now. So if you're not a subscriber, I don't want to say sorry, but you're going to get some ads for right now. Twitch is just doing that for me here. So, well, for you guys, we'll be right back. And for the subs here, that's how Paul White was found, wasn't it? Just some guy in the gym playing? I think so. When it comes to Paul White, I believe the story was that he was just a big guy playing basketball. They found him. 9 times out of 10, like, people don't realize they found John Cena in a gym, like working out in a gym, of all places. Like, everybody thinks that it's the ultimate dream of everybody. They're always seeking out to become a wrestler. That's not always the case. Sometimes wrestling finds you instead of you finding wrestling. So, well, it's funny, Darth Rickett. I know that it showed, like, Paul White's talked about it in interviews. He was actually able in his career to do things that, like, cruiserweights were able to do. One of Paul's signature moves early on in his career, before, like, while he was training, missile drop kick off the top rope. It actually did it very well. But then here you got Hogan, who decided to go in there and tell him, you're a big man. You don't do stuff like that. And let's face it, there's a little bit of that involved. There's also a little bit of, well, your name's Hulk Hogan. You're trying to pull the shots to make yourself look good more than anybody. So that's the part that frustrates a lot of us when we see that kind of stuff. But yeah, Paul White was totally able to do a lot of stuff that the cruiserweights were able to. Like, he wasn't flying around like a luchador, but he could pull these moves off. But then he got bigger and he got lazier. More out of the fact that he was told to act like a big man rather than actually trying to be a solid wrestler throughout the matches. And that's ultimately what cost him. And then by the time you get to around 2002, 2003, they got to send him down to OVW to get him better. This is one of those examples that you look at Vince and you're like, why are you doing this to a guy like this? In a way, I can sort of see it for the mere fact of this is what he was in WCW. They got to bring him back to see what that, well, this is what we've seen, so this is what we're going to do with you. But for my money, like, you got to see what you got. Saw him versus Triple H in the chokeslam match, and he looked pretty good. That exactly. So now we're going through highlights of the previous match, and if you give Satnam a limited amount of stuff to do, he looks not bad. And I hope they develop him that way. It's sort of like what they didn't do with Omos. Omos, they sort of tried to thrust out a lot faster than what he deserved. And now you end up with a situation where Omos is no longer on main TV. But speaking of people that should be on TV a little bit more here, who do you think backs up Wardlow? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. It could be anybody, really. Who would you like to see back up a guy like Wardlow in that situation? Wardlow seems to be the kind of guy that wants to work by himself right now. I know that they brought up Orange Cat. Well, actually, it makes a lot of sense right now. Prior to all this, he said that Orange Cassidy was his friend, that he earned respect for Orange Cassidy in that first TNT Championship match. So put the tea leaves together, and while I would recommend leaving Wardlow to his own vices here, I could see the best friends in Orange Cassidy getting involved. That and the fact that it's very simple booking, that also helps in that situation. Now this here should be an absolutely awesome match. Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter, if you put this up on the Indies, everybody would love that. Here, we'll see how much time they get. Like, it's 20 minutes after the hour right now. We got oh, nice shot. Great for Tony Storm not to point out the fact that, Hayter was coming during the entrance. Hater sold these seats. Nice. Oh, you gotta love this is what you gotta enjoy when you're living right above the entranceway. I might go shut the window right away here so you guys don't have to hear the interesting conversations in the background. I love people. Like, it really sucks how Hayter ended up with an injury here in her first run. And then when COVID hit, she wasn't able to come over. But now it looks like she's taking every opportunity that's given to her, just knocking it out of the park. Like, that match on Wednesday, I got to feel Hayter was probably the one woman that stood out the most in that matchup. Nice standing drop kick. Yeah, she looked amazing in that match. Well, all four of them did. Like, that was one of those matches where the fans just appreciated really good wrestling.
Hey, I got a hockey record. I took my skate off and tried to stab somebody. I'm the only guy who ever did that.
Who are you looking to stab, JJ? By the way, hi. Good to see you here tonight, JJ. Makes me wonder how many people you want to stab these days. Sorry, I look at my watch because I keep getting updates of the Twins Blue Jays game going on right now. Hey, Darthwick, there you go. Had to play a new that I haven't changed the sounds in forever here. Oh, just new to you. Okay, I can understand that. So here's a question for you, chat. Would you be interested if, when I start doing some of these watch-alongs, that I bring in some guests to watch with me here? We could talk a little bit back and forth as we go along. The setup would be a little different here, but in essence, we could try to get some other guests in here. We could chat up some of the wrestling shows that are going on here, whether it be Dynamite, whether it be one of the pay-per-views. How's the show been so far? We've had one match in. What is Baker doing with the championship here? Wardlow defeated Jay Lethal, but Satnam Singh increased the attack after the match, so it looks like that feud's going to continue. Hey, we got our first picture tonight. And I think we're only going to get one picture-in-picture tonight, so. Cleaning, you'll be listening. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate having you here, JJ. I know we make some fun sometimes of certain things and whatnot, and I do appreciate having everybody here, regardless whether you're lurking, whether you're interacting, whether you're hitting so many sounds that it keeps the stream basically talking on its own. It's all good. But yeah, in regards to my question, I'm cool with whatever you want to try with. Anytime to get more points. Nice, JJ. You're not here for me, you're here for the points, which, I don't mind one bit. I get it. Some people are just addicted to points. No, absolutely, Darth. Your opinion matters a lot here. I'd like to make sure that you guys are properly entertained here, because I got to feel like some nights I'm a little off for you guys. So I just want to make sure that, you guys are always entertained as we go along here. So I might try something out next weekend with the Impact show coming on, but just stay tuned on that because I'm not 100% sure which way I want to play with that. See, like I got some new software here that I want to play around with here and see what I can use for it. It's also going to be something I can play some cooperative games that have a few more cameras on here rather than just listening to us on the Discord. Don't get me wrong, I love the Discord, but at the same time, I'd rather find some way that I can show you guys everything that goes on here as well, so. I love that Baker absolutely gives zero shits about what's going on here. Pardon my French, but yeah. Baker's just having the time of her life. She's out there with Hater's jacket. She's using Thunder Rosa's hat as part of the gimmick there on the choke. And now we've got the full commercial here, so hopefully it goes away quick here. The more that Rebel and Baker get involved, the more I don't think they're going to change the championship here tonight. And like I said before, I do not check out the spoilers. I'm a fan of Meltzer and all the information that they try to provide, those guys like Sean Ross Sapp and whatnot. But I'm trying not to read spoilers before I watch stuff like this. So if you guys know the results already, I completely understand. That's why we're not doing channel point bets on this. Because, well, frankly, if you knew the answer, then what's the point? So we've gotten 10 minutes so far out of this match. So and so far it's been pretty solid between both of them. Nice Northern Lights here. And it's funny. I want to give a shout out right now. Speaking of women's wrestling. Hey, Ed. Oh, did you end up going to that show? Because I just don't know whether it had a late start or you just didn't decide not to go to that show tonight. Thank you for the hydrate. Unfortunately, it's Pepsi tonight. The water bottles are conveniently sitting, getting ready to be washed here, so. Woke up with a fever, so no... Oh, that sucks, man. I hate to see it. I hate when people end up like that. We were just talking about it earlier that there's Darth Mick's local church camp. They ended up having a ground zero COVID spread there, so... Which could be up to 82 people, I believe is what Darth Mick said. I love how Hayter takes those cross bodies. She actually does get up a fair bit. Like, for those that don't know, if you ever watch a cross body, the person that takes it, if they're really good at it, just before they make contact, they make a little hop up. So when the contact is made, they both go down together. Oh, Thunder Rosa almost botched that one. That's probably where that stomp came in. Nice Brave Buster. "88 people exposed, only 4 confirmed, but a little church camp thing ended yesterday." Well, it's funny because if that happened here in Alberta, nobody be leaving there. Everybody be getting tested before they leave. And that camp would be extended by 2 weeks. Because, yeah, Ed, speaking of that show you missed tonight, I didn't realize that one of my friends is actually on the card too, and Giselle Shaw. Oh no, I understand it was a day camp, but at the same time, isolation would happen up here for 2 weeks right now, or until you could get clear enough that you're, how many cases you're clear enough. In the States, it's a little more loose and fancy free, which, you know, I'm not saying which one's right, which one's wrong, but at the same time, I'm just saying what it is. And I hate that phrase. Nice roll up. Oh, wow. That was... That ending was a little rough. If you don't ask me that, or if you ask me, sorry. Wow, that went well. Like, look at this. Thunder Rosa could barely get under. She almost face planted herself on that roll there. Like, how many matches are we going to go in a row that, like, don't get me wrong, I understand Thunder Rosa's done a ton of work to help promote women's wrestling, to help grow women's wrestling, to make things better for women's wrestling. And absolutely, she's accomplished it in spades. But eventually, and I've learned this the hard way, guys, and this is where I come in with why I haven't done that much video lately, apparently. As much as you could be the good person and putting in the good fight, if there's somebody there that's technically better than you that can push the product better, you're gonna get left behind. And I don't know why they, like, I hate to say this, but is it the minority card with Thunder Rosa? I don't think so. Like, she's got the skills. It's just there's too many times in her matches where it just doesn't look right. That's why I think the title change to pay-per-view 4-way match, Storm versus Baker versus Rosa versus Hayter. I would like to see that. Yeah, and I didn't realize that actually happened until I did think it was true. That's why I wanted some proof here. Thanks for proving that there. When Thunder Rosa jumped the guardrail to go cheer with the fans, she kicked the little girl. I'm sure that clip will get everywhere. I was waiting for that kid to get raw. Is that the new Lizzie? Or Izzy, sorry? I'm sorry, one of my favorite moments ever dealing with fans is that Iron Woman match with Sasha Banks and Bayley with Izzy there. When Sasha took the headband and ripped it all up and all that. Then ignored the little girl to hang out with all the adults. Yeah, well, she probably was looking for a beer. Oh, that Izzy spot is incredible. Well, the thing that made it was Izzy. Her reaction was absolutely awesome. It was pure. It was legit. It was amazing. But, yeah. Like, I know we can get into this another time here. And you know what? I might have to start doing a little talk wrestling show sometime here. I've been trying to diversify a little bit from games, but everybody wants to hear about the wrestling from me, so go figure. My opinion here, Thunder Rosa does not need to be the AEW Women's Champion right now, at least as a face. If you're gonna be this interesting of a figure, like, maybe try it as a heel. I don't know. Was the last legit thing Izzy did now that she's in the business. You know what? Sometimes people got to take their 15 minutes of fame and run with it. And Izzy did. You got to give her credit. That's the biggest thing. When it comes to wrestling, you got to take advantage of every situation that you're in. And like, I'm not talking about stepping over people or stepping on people, but at the same time, if you get an opportunity to take something, go with it, and run with it, you got to take it. So I don't blame Izzy one bit for what she's done. When it comes to like different people coming in for different spots, like hell, even like the Logan Paul spot, he knows where he can make some money out of this. We got lucky that he didn't look like a complete ass. Well, more than he usually does. FTR. So here's a question for you, Chad. I'll throw this out here for you. As of August right now, Dax Harwood, top male wrestler of the year and top tag team wrestler of the year? Or top tag team of the year, FTR? Does he get the both? Because I would have to say right now, Jade Cargill and Madison Rayne? Well, I guess that's one way to prove yourself as a coach. Oh, nice. They brought in Bobby Cruz for the ROH match. And I love the fact that these graphics are very simple. Logan, Bad Bunny, and Pat McAfee have all taken the business seriously, and it showed, we're not getting any of those. We're not getting any of those snooky moments, I think is the best way to put it. Like, hell, we even had a Bowling Shoe Ugly main event of WrestleMania 11 with Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor. But at least Lawrence looked like he took it seriously, right? Think they look better than I hate this for Dominic for the fact that he got thrust into a spot he really shouldn't have been in. Like, hell, we're in a position here where we have Bianca Corelli here at NXT. I forget what her new name is right now, but they could have done the same thing with her, but they chose to wait, and very happy with that. So is Wheeler coming out as a second to the corner? Ariana Grace, there you go. Thanks, Ed. It's hard to keep up with NXT these days because I don't watch it straight out. And most of the time when I'm watching it, I get the details from the What Culture crew, because that's where I get most of my news. Like, first thing I do wake up in the morning is turn on the What Culture video on YouTube for the daily news. Comes out at 6 a.m. I work at 7, so that's like while I'm getting my coffee put together and all that, I'll watch and I'll listen to that. So it was a great they're great for information for it, but they've even dropped to it at NXT. Steven Larson, they've dropped to it at NXT. They'll throw out the results, but they won't. They might skip through a few matches here and there once in a while, but even they're losing their focus on it. I'm wondering how long it takes for... Whoa. Claudio tried to go over that running uppercut right away. I love how this is just such a back and forth trade-off to start. Like, Takeshita is basically cementing himself as being no joke. Like, he's been out there. Every match that he's been in has been very solid. I don't think I've seen him in a match that you could consider really poor quality. Wow, this is like... It's very funny that Castagnoli could have been put in a real bad situation after winning the ROH World title with all the stuff that Gresham was yapping about. But because of the popularity of Claudio and the respect that everyone has for Claudio, I think it's worked out for the best for him here right now. But yeah, going back to the Dominic point, the thing I feel upset for him is the fact that Dominic was up here in Alberta trading under Lance Storm, right? But yeah, that was absolutely a great sequence. Look at this. It's just smooth and pure with these guys. This is what Ring of Honor is all about. It's all about wrestling, right? Just solid back and forth with these guys. And I do admit, you guys in the States, you're probably about 5 to 10 seconds ahead of me right now. Usually it's the other way around, because Canadian TV is a little bit quicker than American TV, but I'm watching this online for anybody that's watching late. TSN doesn't carry Rampage or any of these specials like this on their regular channels. You have to go to their website. Basically like the Peacock app to watch, or ESPN Plus. There you go. That's probably the easiest equivalent to that. But can you imagine how much more popular Takeshita is going to be? Oh, nice. Supposed to go for a hip toss, and Claudio just said nope. Oh. Maybe that was a botched spot that they had to fix because they just redid it again. But when it comes to Dominic, he got a chance to train under Lance Storm here in Alberta, in Calgary. But they wouldn't let him do any matches. They wouldn't let him work a single match for a single promotion anywhere. At the time, we had 2 active promotions in Calgary that would have loved to have him in there. And I don't think the world would think any less of it to have... I don't think WWE would think of the worst of it to have Dominic have a match on the indie scene before coming into... whether it be NXT or WWE. But he literally did not get any... Well, the only match time he got was behind closed doors. He would show up at local shows, but he'd just be backstage learning the atmosphere. I'm sorry, that doesn't help you when you're out in the ring. Across the ropes here. With the amount of noise, buzz, etc. around Claudio coming to AEW, joining the Blackpool Combat Club, the 2 high-profile masters he had. Makes sense to put championship on him to bring the most attention to the title. I'm not part of the business. I imagine you want to establish a brand. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, Ray seemed to be pushing Dom right to the top, and if that's the case, then, you know, what's that phrase that they use for D'Lo? Damn it, Dom. Damn it, Ray. Honestly, Ray did his kid a disservice if that's the way that they pushed him like that. They're probably doing this because they didn't expect Ray to last this long going into his final match. Because I'd assume with all the injuries that Rey Mysterio's had it throughout his career, he might be getting close to doing the big tap out on the career. Not like Ric Flair, who waited an extra 30 years on top of when he wasn't at the top. As we enter our last commercial break here. Canada won the Ivan Lincoln Cup, the U18 hockey tournament. Good for them. With all the allegations coming through Hockey Canada right now, nobody's really saying a whole lot about Hockey Canada, period. If you guys are in America and are keeping track right now, there was a sexual assault scandal in terms of... let me snooze this for another 5 minutes here. Using up all my snoozes during this show so we can get the whole show in here without ads for you guys, for your non-subscribers that are watching. I do appreciate having you here regardless. There's been a sexual assault team-wide accusations coming up that the head of Hockey Canada just resigned today. Or yesterday or today, one or the other. But yeah, like, it's funny because I'm watching this match here right now and I'm talking about something else and I'm just... You ever sit down in a match and you just sit there saying, wow? You're just in awe of how smooth the match is overall. Like, even that one blown spot they had earlier with the hip toss, it looked weird, but it didn't look ugly. Like, that's the biggest difference we have in these last two matches here. Like, with Claudio and Konsuke here, you gotta realize that these guys, even if they screw up, even if they make a mistake on anything, they're actually still running pretty smooth with each other. In that last match, you look at some of the spots near the end there, and it looked like Thunder Rosa just couldn't keep up. And then, well, we talked about what happened after the match. Well, that doesn't surprise me in many ways here. Nice backbreaker there and hang it on. Trying to go for a bow and arrow. And I love how they're keeping this wrestling base for the most part here. And as I say that, Claudio starts throwing out headbutts randomly. Oh, and Captain Marvel's on TNT next if anybody's interested. Gotta admit, this is actually a great show that's delivered. So, well, it's only an hour. And the one thing I enjoy is Claudio's been in control for most of it, but it doesn't look like Konsuke doesn't belong in this match. That's the thing that I enjoy the most about it right now. Even Regal's admitting, like, yeah, this man's got the goods. He deserves his title shot. And also that history of New Japan working with Ring of Honor for crossover matches. I understand Takesha's not part of Ring of Honor. Or not part of New Japan. He come from 01 or DDT. What? I believe it was 01 if my memory serves me right. Regal's really trying to push that he wants him as part of the club, but have they said how they'll be doing the Trio Championship setup tournament or something else? I'd assume it's a tournament. That's what they've done for every single title that they've had so far. But officially, no, they haven't said anything. Just like with the Women's Championship or the Women's Tag Team Championships in the Fed, they announced Friday that they're going to be having a tournament, but they haven't announced participants. And I honestly don't think they know exactly who's going to be a part of it yet. Nice gut wrench. It is so enthralling to see how much power Claudio really has. And he's got so many skills here. Like, he's got... everybody's chanting for the spin. Maybe he swings him for 10 minutes here. But Claudio's got so much charisma that people just don't understand. Now, this reminds me exactly of what happened to the end of the gauntlet match for the women on SmackDown. And a lot of people complained about it, but it was actually very smart on the part of Shayna Baszler. She put Raquel Rodriguez in the Karafuda clutch, and she had to do everything in her power to get over the ropes, which she did. Nice. So, I'll get to it in a sec here, but what Baszler did right after the rope break, the next move she did was a roll-up, backslide type, a crucifix type roll-up to get the pin of the victory, because she was so tired trying to get over the rope to get the rope break. It was just mentally, it's smart enough. You go for a pin, it takes extra strength to kick out of that. So it was a really smart move by Baszler to finish it off, for her to take on Liv Morgan and Clash of the Castle. And Ed, you haven't seen this guy? Well, he's been on Impact. He's been on Ring of Honor many times. He's been doing a lot of indie shows. Okay. That is a very interesting form of a DDT. Was that a frog splash on the arm? It was either on the arm or the leg. He didn't hit it the way he was supposed to. Yeah, every single match that Takeshita's been in has just been plain old impressive. And I'm sorry, a lot of it has to do with your opponents, but... yeah, I think he did short it. They just had a bad camera view, which they shouldn't have showed off again on a replay, but... it's one thing I found with AEW is they found a way to screw up the camera work just ever so much. Oh, and that's the way to do it. That is pretty smart. And that was a smart counter. Now we're going to get the Dragon face-off spot here. Both guys, come on, hit me. Quit hitting me and hit me. Yeah. Oh, Darth. Them's fighting words, using those last three words in that sentence. It's not a Scorpion Deathlock. He was TJ Wilson's partner. That is a sharp shooter. As opposed to what The Rock does, what's called a sharp shitter, but that's a different story altogether. Didn't love the no-sell spot, but was all right. Yeah. I've never been a fan of the no-sell spots. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I get adrenaline will kick you up it'll put you in a different atmosphere, but at the same time, it's not gonna... Oh, nice uppercut. Oh, try to go over the uppercut backs. Oh my God. And a brain buster. I think that's why I hated watching Hogan and Cena matches, the no-sell pump-up kind of moments. Yeah, like... I've never been a big fan of... You have some immortal power you dip into to kick out. The only reason I would ever enjoy something like that is if you're playing a video game. Because I am the cheapest son of a... Oh. Rolling elbow. Trying to go over a pile driver, but can't... This is good storytelling here. So we're working over the back all night. Jesus. Jesus. Oh, Rico. Oh my God. Whoa. Whoa. We almost got a new champ right there. Yeah, sorry, Darth Mick. I apologize. I didn't catch up, but... Oh, nice move. Please don't have a crappy ending. We're getting the 2 minutes left here. Because I don't think they're going to go into overtime. If they do, I apologize to the... If they don't finish in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we're going to be getting ads on here, unfortunately. And we'll chat about this after if we get to that point. I'm sorry. I've used up all my snoozes. Oh, look out. Flying uppercut. All right. That's it. Lariat. Blackpool Combat Club, 12-6. All right, now this textbook. Ricola. Damn, what a match. You want to talk about a champion putting over a challenger? Right here. That was absolutely awesome, that matchup. Like, that match is everything that you expected to be there. With a guy like Claudio, like, you want to talk about the number one story about how WWE screwed up? I present to you issue number 1 right here. The guy's got charisma. The guy's got talent. The guy is absolutely phenomenal at everything he does. And yet, they blew it. I'm going to have to find that audio for that. But this was an absolutely great show. Like, I will admit, that women's match, that ending needed a little bit to be desired, but other than that, this was a very solid hour of wrestling here. And AEW just keeps pumping them out right now. Whether it's Dynamite, Rampage. I can't wait for the pay-per-view here coming up September 4th. If you're in the Edmonton area, we're going to be hosting it at Beercade YEG once again. And yeah, everything AEW does, it just seems like gold right now. Tony's got a few things to figure out, like to get more women on their show, to get the women's division all figured out, whatnot. That's something that needs to be done. But at the same time, everything else is just it's so smooth right now. It's going so well. And yeah, like we've said, there's going to be a few hiccups here and there, which, don't get me wrong, absolutely are some of the stuff that comes up, you can't help. MJF not happy with his role. You can't help that. With there's certain things that Tony could do to fix the problem, but does he really want to fix that problem in that way? To me, that's the biggest issue, if you ask me. I feel very confident in how AEW looks right now as a product, and tonight's just a clear example of that. They made, well, Jamie looked better than Thunder Rosa in that matchup. Let's just call a spade here. Jay Lethal, Wardlow, that feud's going to continue now, so it was a solid opener, solid match to start. And then the main event here, Claudio and Takeshita. Like that first 50 minutes, like we had Ed in the chat here. He's never seen this before. And all you can say is wow. Darthwick, all you can say is wow. And it just, yeah, it was an absolutely excellent show. It was, I can't wait to see what's going to come up at Quake in the Lake on Wednesday, which we will be here for. So if you're around, make sure you don't miss it. And yeah, this card here exactly is what you would expect for TNT to put on for a good hour of wrestling on a Saturday night. It gives you that feel of there is something special in here, and here's just a glimpse of what you're going to see every Wednesday on Dynamite. So